theoretical would be Happy New Year, Happy New Month, you know? I don't even know where to start. The thing is this, I'll just go straight to the point. I the topic of this video is lost because I was actually lost. Like everybody stops selfies and pictures of what it feels like when you relocate with your outfit, everything. It's great, it's actually great, but the life, there are a lot of things inside this whole moving to a new place. So which is getting lost sometimes, not knowing your way, not knowing what to do. So this particular situation, I had dropped off where I wasn't meant to because I wanted to get some milk at the grocery store. So when I came out, I was waiting for a bus. And I already needed the time the bus will use in common. I already knew the time. It was scheduled. So at that particular time, the bus did not come. So I didn't know why, it was snowing that day. And sometimes when it's snowing, it's not as flexible as it used to be. It's not the way the schedule is. It doesn't really apply every time. So it was snowing that day, so the bus did not come. Then I checked my Google map and I realized that the next bus was scheduled for, is it 20 and be 30 minutes time. So I was checking it, like I'm standing at this bus stop. So it's falling on me. My legs are already freezing. So am I about to stand here for the next 30 minutes, or is it that I'll trek back into the store again, which is like 5 minutes away, and trek back again when it's, I was just thinking about all these things. So, and I know that the place is close to my house. You understand? So I decided to, okay, let me check. Let me check how many minutes it will take for me to walk. So it's going to take me 12 minutes to walk home. In my head I'm like, okay, it's not a bad idea. Come on, like, first of all, I'm not going to wait up to 20 minutes. I'm going to walk home in 12 minutes. I'm going to, if you are doing weight loss, you'll be checking how many footsteps, how many steps you had in a day. So I considered all these things. I was like, okay, I should walk home. And I was so confident about the road I was about to take because I think my boss went through that way the previous day. So I'm like, if you enter the road, you take right, then you walk and you take right again, I'll get home. That is the way it was in my head. I get in the gist. So I started my journey. In this very lonely road. And it was so lonely, like I was the one walking on the road. And it was already like 8 p.m. or so, I'd be past 7. But it was really dark. So I was the only one walking on the road. So it got to a point where I felt by this point I should turn to the right. There was no right to turn to. I was like, let me keep on going. When I keep on going, I will turn right. You understand? I kept on going. There was no right. I was like, I don't understand. What is happening here? So I still felt I could still figure it out. You understand? By this time, I've walked that 12 minutes so that they said it would take me 12 minutes to walk. I've still not found where I'm going to. I've still not found my house. I've still not found somewhere that will lead to the house. I was confused at this point. Like, this is the road I passed the previous day. I know it was a bus, but come on, I was looking. So what is the issue here? Why am I not finding my way? When I knew it, my phone started ringing. My dad was calling because he knows by 8 o'clock, 7:38, I'm already back home. So it's almost 8 o'clock, I'm not yet back home. So what's up? So I just told him that I was on my way because I know that if I tell him that I cannot find where I'm going to, he's going to panic and all that. So I just told him I was on my way. My mom called too from where she was. How come I'm not here at home? I'm like, why is everybody coming at the same time? All I wanted in my head is I want to figure out where I was. And I wasn't ready to back down. Because to me, I knew where I was going to. I cannot finish stressing myself and at the end of the day, I'll not take Uber home. So I lost both ways. I stressed myself and then I'll lose money again on top the money I want to make for not taking bus. No. So I had to find a way. That was when I realized that, babe, you have been walking. You have Google Maps on your phone. You have not checked it. I'm like, okay, let me decide. Let me now finally, because I wanted it to be a thing of pride. Like I found my way myself. But you see, I know that if I continue this journey, there's no going back. And around that side that I live, there's a cemetery where they used to bury people. I say, God, I'll soon walk, and begin to enter Isaiah cemetery. Because what was already in my head is, and this is Thriller, Michael Jackson, Thriller when they come out from that's a graveyard. I say, Ruby, is this how you want to go? Then you see some white people, they'll just start their car, like all these horror movies, they want to come from behind and kill. There's nothing in my brain. My brain finished me. Because I already died before I found my way. So I finally check. Said using my Google map. It said telling me, follow left. Because this even Google map can be confusing sometimes, but it's just for another day. Take left, take right. I started following the way. Finally, my dear, I saw my street. I saw my door. Do you know that my door has never meant so much to me like that day? I saw the door. I was like, oh, door, how beautiful you are. Like, I finally found you. Confusion. I was really, really frustrated. But you know what? I go home. I go home. That's why I'm narrating the story, because I go home safely. But the point is this. I started thinking of this journey, and I was like, it reminded me, or it painted this picture about life to me. What am I trying to say? At times, we miss our way in life because we are overconfident that we know the way. You understand? At times, it can also be, it's not, you don't only miss your way when you don't know where you are. At times, you lose your way because you're too confident about this is where I'm meant to be. This is where, you understand, that kind of thing. So at times, we lose our way in life because we are so sure. We think we are sure of the process of how to navigate through some certain situations. And in a bid to do that, we find out we are lost or we are going in circles. And you might say, okay, when in a difficult situation or when you finally find yourself lost in this thing called life, why don't you reach out for help? Why don't you speak out? True. Do you know that in a bid to speak out, so you have like two things that can happen to you. In a bid to find your way in life by speaking out, by talking to people, you might lose your way further. Yes. You can also still find solution, which is the second one. You might be able to speak to the right people. Like if I had seen someone that day that I know and I'm like, okay, I've lost my way and the person really knows the way, they'll show me the way. Then I can also meet somebody that that doesn't know the way. In fact, the person will tell me, okay, follow left, I'll get more confused. So in a bit to find your way through life, in a bit to make some certain decisions that you've not made before, you might be misled because you decide to speak out. And you can also find you a solution because you decide to speak out. There are two ways about it. Then in a bit to keep quiet and say, okay, I want to sort this thing out, you might also be confused and find yourself depressed. So which way do we go to? Since you're not sure of the way you're meant to be, right? That is why we have to always have God at the first instance. Anything we decide to do, God is first. Because He is the only way that will show you. He's the only one that will show you the way. He will decide. He's the one that when you call upon Him, He decides to send the right people your way. You understand? God can never send you the wrong ones. It's not possible. So when you find yourself in difficult situations and you're not sure how to navigate, when you find yourself, because there's some things you might be going through that even your parents have not gone through, your siblings have not gone through, so they might not even know the right advice to give you. That is why God has to be your best friend. Let me read something. In Psalm 56 verse 3, he says, when I am afraid, I put my trust in you. Now, when you are in a terrible situation, you put your trust in God. When it's becoming so dark, your life is feeling as if there's no light at the end of the tunnel, you still have to put your trust in God because He knows the end from the beginning. Now you see Psalm 94 verse 19, it says, when anxiety was great within me, your consolation brought me joy. So when I am afraid, I know that I am covered with the blood of Jesus. I know that there is God at my corner. So I can never be lost. So I just narrated the story about being physically lost, like not finding my way. And I've decided to let you know that from time to time we get lost in this thing called life. Because at times, the way people tell us about life and this is the solution, you follow that solution and you still not found your way. Because these are human-made knowledge. What about God and His own knowledge? God is not put last, God is put first. You see, Psalm 120 verse 1 says, in my distress, I called to the Lord and He answered me. That is what He's there for. But it's for you to remember that there is a God. Because most times we want to solve that equation ourselves. You have to remember that there is a Jesus first of all. So you have to move towards Him and let Him help you find your way. And I pray, God, that as many as can watch this, you help them in every situation and help them find their way back to you. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. See you next time. Bye-bye.